Is this the best DC Multiverse Batman figure? Let's find out. Packaging, your basic DC Multiverse packaging, displaying the figure at the front. Side of the box, Batman Dark Knight Returns. Back of the box, imagery from Frank Miller, which this figure is actually based off. So let's crack this bad boy open and see if it's worth the wait. And here he is, fresh out of the packaging. I have to say, he comes with a lot more than I originally thought he did. So starting off with accessories, he's got several pairs of interchangeable hands. He's got open hands on the figure with a hand with his batarangs in his fist. He's got fisted hands, partially open hands to grab stuff. And they're all very well detailed. You can see it's got the wrinkles from the actual suit, and it's got like a nice blue and black sort of wash to it. Very, very good looking. I'm liking the look of these a lot. As you can see oh, on this hand here, he's got a few little imperfections, but you can probably just shave that off with a little craft knife, which I'll probably do. But apart from that, the hands have turned out pretty clean. Comes with two head sculpts, obviously the one on the figure and this one. And this, McFarlane have done a superb job. Hopefully the camera's picking that up, but the paint detail on all the little bits of blood, and the blues and the black on the cowl, and the skin tone. You can see that. That is very, very nice looking. Superb head sculpt. I can't see any sort of defects with that. Back of the mask, it's got wrinkles. Very, very cool looking. I am liking that head sculpt a lot. That's awesome. McFarlane, well done for that one. And he's also got a batarang on a rope. Very basic. I don't think that should be black. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I might add some paint details to this in the future. And obviously, with it being a McFarlane toy, comes with your classic DC Multiverse stand and your collector's card. And because this is a collector's edition, the cardboard they've used for this is actually a lot more sturdier than trading cards in the past. It's got a nice shine to it. Frank Miller's artwork, a little bio about Batman. Very, very cool looking. And he also comes with this lamppost or street post, whatever you want to call it. So this came in two parts. I had to attach the top to the bottom here. I don't think that's turned out pretty good. I'm liking that. It's lacking some paint details, but I think I'm going to touch it up and add it to a diorama at some point. So for what it is, I'm glad they included it. So the cream of the crop is obviously the figure itself. And this head sculpt, this Bruce Wayne battered head sculpt, is superb. Let's bring the camera a little bit closer, get some more light on it. There we go, look at that. That is so, so cool. Like all the blues and the red coming through from where he's all bruised and battered. I am loving that. It's got nice like grey with like a black wash on his hair. McFarlane have actually smashed it out of the park with this one. That looks so, so good. Really, really impressed with that. So, the figure is obviously based on The Dark Knight Returns from Frank Miller. And he's a bulkier Batman. And I think they've captured that pretty well on this, to be honest. And obviously he's battle damaged, so he's got some paint decos. None of this is sculpted on. It's all painted, obviously, apart from his bat emblem there, which I don't think they've done a bad job. I'll probably go over some parts and add a little bit of blood because it looks quite bland to me, but the skin tone's nice. I quite like the skin tone. It does actually match his face, which is great to see. Again, he's got some rips on his knees and up here. Nothing on his back, but for looks wise, I think it's superb. It really is. And it feels like a hefty figure, this. Like nothing's going to break. It all feels really chunky, which is awesome. So articulation on this thing, I think it's your standard McFarlane. So he's got single. He's only got single actually. I thought you would have had double jointed elbows. Nope, single. He's got a nice crunch round here. It's spinning round. Doesn't really crunch forwards or back here, which is a bit of a shame. It feels like there should be articulation here, and I think there is, but for some reason I can't seem to move it. I can get him to turn, but I can't seem to get him to go back and forth. One thing I do like on this figure, which McFarlane don't usually do on the figure, he's actually got a thigh swivel, which is excellent to see. There you go, you can actually spin his leg fully round. Because a lot of DC Multiverse don't actually have this, but I'm glad they've included it on this one because it just makes this figure a little bit better in my book. Again, all the little details. I just love all the wrinkles and the blacks and the blues. You know, they've captured the look from the comic so well on this one. I'm really liking that. Obviously, he's got his toe articulation as well, which is great. The cape, it's like a thin rubbery material, which, you know, I don't mind it when McFarlane do plastic capes, but they have started to do more cloth good capes, and I think this guy, you know, it would just take it to the next level if he actually had a cloth cape. But for what it is, I like the details, I like the colour, so I'm happy with it. So you might be wondering, since I've got two heads, what I'm actually planning on doing with these heads. So the main reason I got this figure was I wanted a battle damage old man Bruce Wayne to go onto this guy here. So I'm hoping that they just change. So let's have a look. They've got slightly different pegs looking at them. Yeah, this one's a bit longer, but let's see if we can make it work. Don't think it pops on, but look at that. Yes, that's what I wanted with this figure originally. I wanted like an old man Bruce Wayne in his armor from Dark Knight Returns, and that completes the look. Obviously, I'm going to paint this guy up, so stay tuned for that one. And I think it's just going to look so good with that head sculpt. I am liking that. Do you like that? Have you got this figure? Let me know. What do you think of it? Do you think McFarlane's stepped up the game with his paint applications? I certainly do with this one. It's just a shame he can't have the consistency with the rest of his figures, but that is so good. I'm liking that head a lot. Yeah, man, I'm loving that. So whilst I've got his head off here, let's put his battle damaged head back on here. If he wants to go on. Nope. Move his peg there. Try again. Come on. Hey, there we go. And there he is. Bruised and battered Batman. I'm loving the look of this. It's so good. Let me know if you've got this figure and what you think of him, because I'm blown away with, like, McFarlane have done an absolute banging job on this one. Can't really fault it. It's lacking in some paint here and there, like his batarangs here, but I'm going to do a paint job on this guy, so that's no biggie to me. But that head sculpt, look at that. Absolutely nailed that. So I have actually got a Mafex figure, which is based on the same comic. So you can see the differences here. This is a lot darker. So I'm going to actually give this a black wash to kind of make it look a bit more like this. But the head sculpts, you know, this is the Mafex, you know, which costs twice as much as this. But the head sculpts, I'm really liking this one. Really am. It's got kind of like a wet look on his lips compared to the Mafex. Yeah, fantastic job there. So I'll stick him there, and I'll bring in some size comparisons. So Obviously, we've seen him next to his armoured suit, which this is an absolute nightmare to stand because of these little ridges here. That's probably the only downside to this figure. I'll bring in Bane. You want to stand? Nope. Yep. Nope. Please stand. There we go. Absolutely towers over him. I love this figure, by the way. It's so good. I'll just bring in the Mafex one again there, just for a little comparison. And then here's a little custom I did of a Batman, which I kind of went down the look of this with the blues and the greys. So hopefully he stands. No, he doesn't want to stand. And last one, I've got another DC Multiverse Batman here. So let me know what you think of this guy. If you're getting him or you've already got him, let me know what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts. Comment down below. I think this is a must for any Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman collector, and I'm made up he's now in my collection. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye for now.